Is this thing on? I hope so.
Check us out live from the Jetro parking lot outside of CBP.
I don't know if this is working. I don't see anyone in here yet, so it might not be. Oh, we got 2 people. Hey, listen, if you're seeing this, can you just tell us that it's working? Someone comment in the chat because
did it just go live? I'll try.
I don't know. Yeah. Hit it up. Retweet it.
Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here from Citizens Bank Park, City Pigeons episode 131. And, had some ticks to the game tonight and said to myself, it's Wednesday. We usually do the pod on Wednesdays. Why don't we just take the crew down to the game?
What a bright idea, Jesse.
Wasn't that a good idea? And that
Except the crew didn't come, just me.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to – I know what it's like. Everybody's got all sorts of stuff going on, and I didn't really plan ahead. But, great to have Meech here. Meech and I are totally capable of doing this by ourselves. We don't need
think so.
We don't need any of those bumps. Anyway, look, Meech, let's get right into it. I am done trying to make sense of what's going on in the baseball season.
There's no need to.
I know I was a sky is falling dude after the Mets series, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're never going to beat the Mets. This is never going to change. And then you said something to me about it not mattering anymore. I guess after the Brewers had erased it, right? Something along these lines.
I didn't mean it in a doesn't matter, just like who cares, But it really for the most part it doesn't matter. Just try and get to the postseason healthy, which they kind of failed to do with the Trey Turner injury, but it looks like he'll be back in time for the playoffs. So they're going to be tough to beat in the playoffs. They're looking good right now. And you know who's got the best mindset on the Phillies? Who I've kind of tried to adopt the mindset of Vic Fangio.
Philly Karen?
No, you see when Vic Fangio comes into the press conferences for the Eagles, and he's like, "Wow, I didn't expect that from Nola last night." I was
that's
like,
how he
"Me
leads it
neither."
off?
Yeah, that's how he led off his press conference.
What a
I was like,
legend.
I didn't either, dude. I was like, all right, and he's kind of optimistic about it, and I'm just going to adopt another old Italian man's philosophy and be more like Vic Fangio.
Now,
I'm just rooting for the squad. They're probably going to let me down, but let's do it.
I think that's maturity and growth on your part.
Yeah,
if I recall correctly, after last year, you were like, I'm done. Like, see what happens in the playoffs. This is too much for me.
You know how mature I am?
Yeah, I want to know.
John Clark put out some tweet the other day about the Phillies having the best home record in the majors and how they're, really hard to beat at home. And I wanted to quote tweet it with something about losing to the Diamondbacks in games 6 and 7, but I didn't do it. I refrained. I'm going to try and stop being negative about the Phillies. You can't do that in the postseason. There's no room for negativity in the postseason because anything can happen in the baseball playoffs, including like the Marlins winning 2 World Series in 5 years.
Yeah. Well, starting pitching was what we hung our hat on. Obviously, we lost Wheeler. And then there was a time when, whether it was Ranger, Sanchez, Luzardo, they've all had times when they looked like they were starting to stumble a little bit. But this last stretch of them coming back, pitching the way they pitched.
Ranger coming back is huge.
I mean, did you see that stat against Soto is 0 for 15 against them or something like that? Ah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And the Mets honestly look kind of like like they're ready to be taken out by the woodshed and put down. And I'm not saying they can't, in a short series. And that's the thing I don't want to see. I guess we wouldn't. All right, help me out with this, Meech. They've changed the playoffs so many damn times. The Phillies are impossible really to play in the wild card series. We know that.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good. If they finish in top 2, they miss the wild card. Right?
Okay, and that looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good.
Okay. And then the second series, is it 5 games?
It's 5 games.
Okay, so that's still pretty short. A lot. I like the 7 games. Gives you. But
that's what makes these baseball play. Like, do you remember the year we went to the World Series in 2022? That series against the Cardinals. I remember I was driving to work in that, and they were going to lose the game, lose the series. They were going to
it changed everything.
And then they had that 9th inning, and it changed the entire playoffs.
You want to know something?
So that's how fickle the playoffs could be. So I'm not worried about it. They're going to be good. Just get healthy with the rest of them.
I remember that moment, and Mark and my buddy Dan would attest that we got food from Chubby's that day, and there was like a thing of Jell-O shots by the counter, like a jug of them, and we decided to buy them. And we decided that it was the Jell-O shots.
How do you put Jell-O shots in a jug?
Because they're all in little plastic things. Okay. It's like mass-produced Jell-O shots. I feel a little rain coming. If I lose all this equipment, it's fine. We make so much money, I'll just buy more.
It's just a Chromebook.
It's good.
We'll take our YouTube money and buy 6 more.
Finkatron 3000 reposted this stream. Oh, wow. It notifies me that happened. That's
good
weird.
Stuff, Finkatron 3000.
Hey, thanks, Finkatron. We appreciate you being here in spirit. I know he wishes he was here with us. We got Mike's Crown Royal, an array of different beers. Oh, he says we look so cute. Oh, thanks, buddy. Meech, I'm happy to get back into. This is my playoff garb that I've been wearing for the past 3 years. And I noticed you have the old school. Now, is it what day? It's not Thursday, right? So they won't be wearing that.
No,
tonight,
they won't
right?
be wearing this. But I just got this before the season. It was one of those $37 Dick's specials.
You told me about that.
Yeah, that was a really a big moment for me. And
you love $37 Dick's.
I do.
Yeah.
Not Paws either. I love it. You know what I did? I had my Charlie Manuel 2008 World Series jersey on before I left. But god damn, it's like, I don't know what the hell I was on in 2008, but it's so fucking big. It's a size 48, but it's down to like my knees. And I mean, I just didn't like the look and feel of it. So I threw on the old Bryce Harper.
Beautiful. Now you were debating though if it's okay to do the matching old school.
Yeah,
right?
I forget who I was having a conversation with, some buddies, and we were talking about what is appropriate to wear to a game, and they said like the jersey with the matching cap is a no. You look too much like you're wearing the goddamn.
You look like Joe DeCamera.
Yeah, I don't look like Joe DeCamera. He's wearing the fucking spikes in the stirrups and shit.
He's got the jock strap probably.
But I don't know if you break it up with a hoodie, and this is a fucking low crown snapback. I think
that's very low. It looks like someone sat on it on the couch for a while, but that's your vibe. You can
retro,
pull that off. I can't
retro crown. It's called.
Good times.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. You mentioned Nola and Vic Fangio, talking about Nola. Obviously, that was a massive start for him the other night.
Huge.
And I was like, this is what we needed. But here's my question. Is that the best thing that could have happened, or is that the worst? And here's why I say
no, it's not it's not the worst, because you've seen he can actually do it.
Okay, but
I needed to be shown he could fucking do it.
Understood. But our boy Rob Thompson likes to rely on his guys. And now that he's seen that is obviously going to make him willing to throw Nola in critical spots. Now, I will say, Nola has performed well in playoff situations over the past couple of years. You got to give him credit. But I'm just a little worried that what he showed us the other night is like what he's capable of, but he may not be capable of doing that multiple times in the playoffs. There's only one way to find out. But my thought in the back of my head is like, shit, would it be better if he just sucks and Rob Thompson's like, I can't go to this guy?
No, you're going, no. You can't be like that. We got to see what Walker Buehler is going to give us. You don't even know if he's going to be in the playoff rotation. It's all up in the air. And I mean, listen, a lot of people don't like to give Rob Thompson credit, but what he's done with this outfield since the trade deadline is like magical. Like
he's the masturbator.
He's got Nick Castellanos willingly. Like the guy is one of those guys who played 162 games like 4 years in a row. Yeah. He doesn't sit.
That's real ballsy to do it. I give him credit.
Now he's got him, like, I know he's probably not doing it willingly, but reluctantly, he's got him sitting on the bench, not complaining. And this outfield's producing, man. Like, they had like 6 RBIs. The other, I mean,
I told you, I just realized
every itineration he's putting out there is good.
I'm acting very immature today. I just realized that you could say masturbator. I just realized that, which is really, I mean, I should have put that together earlier. I got to give shout out to my boy.
He's been in the majors for like fucking.
Shout out to my boy, Radical Squirrel and Mark. We were sitting on the beach like a week ago, and they were like, ooh, Bader, man, he's such a great addition. And if you remember, when he first came to the Phillies, his first couple games, he looked a little bit lost. And I was like, oh, crap. And everyone was like, this is just another guy. Nobody was excited. You know who was excited? Ed Rendell. Ed Rendell told me, you're going to love Bader. He plays the game the right way. He's a great defender. Blah, 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 blah.
I remember that one playoffs when he was with the Yankees. He was smashing home runs at once. I think it was against the Twins.
Yeah, he looks like the real deal. And I was throwing shade at him, not realizing that he had started to really heat up. And now I'm here for it.
Yeah, he's pretty much my favorite offensive Philly right now.
By the way, on that note, Meech, and I don't have the image, Meech put together a parlay for tonight. We did tweet it out at City Pigeons Pod on Twitter, so you can get it there. Meech, take us through the parlay, because I know Bader was in there, but I noticed you did 2+, and that's hits, RBI. That's a combination.
Yeah,
can you explain that?
It's a cool new feature that FanDuel put out that I'm fucking addicted
to. A new way to get people to bet so they can lose their money.
No, makes sense to me. So we can win our money easier.
Right.
I got Harrison Bader, who's leading off tonight. He needs to record 2 hits, runs, and RBIs. So if he gets one hit and 1 RBI, if he gets 2 runs, if he gets 2 hits,
like
any
that.
combination of that. I need Harper to
More
get the
chances.
same. Harper to get the same, 2 and 2.
Doable.
JT Real Muto just to get a hit, and Brandon Marsh to get a hit, and Sanchez to strike out 7. And honest to God, I expect this offensively to be done by the 3rd inning, because Clay Holmes is pitching for the Mets. He gives up a ton of hits. He gets knocked around. This is
Inside
perfect.
knowledge.
This is perfect hitting weather that I'm sitting in right now.
It really is.
I would love to
It's not
grab
hot.
a bat and go against Clay Holmes tonight.
Would you?
And I expect Sanchez to hit the 7 strikeouts by like the 3 2/3 innings. This is an easy one, man. And I got the 50% boost. It's plus 1506. Let's win some money tonight.
I was just thinking the last podcast or 2 podcasts ago, I called it End of Summer Blues, and it was when we had lost to the Mets. And then the Phillies went on a tear. And now I called this one Fightin Back, and then I just assume they're going to lose tonight because I know. I just assume they're going to lose because
I assume they're going to lose because I'm here tonight. So
all right. Here's my next question on the Phillies. I was thinking this the other night. Duran was about to come into the game.
Say that again?
Duran.
Whoa.
That's very good, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. He was about to come into the game, and they were doing the
Kiddo Taco Bell.
Yeah, they're doing the intro thing. And I was just thinking, if you're an opposing player, does that ever motivate you? Meaning like, oh, you're going to stop the whole game and do the flashing lights in a tarantula? I'm about to smash the ball.
If I was on deck and if I was coming up to bat that, even if I wasn't, and I was a team leader, I would go up to every player while this is playing. You see this? What motherfucker is walking into? He thinks he's going to fucking just mow us down. Yeah, it's very.
It's just presumptuous.
It's too much.
It's presumptuous.
But I like it.
But like it just is basically saying like this guy's the greatest ever. He throws gas. You have no chance. And the truth is,
I guess it's like if you want to compare it to something, it's the Chicago Bulls when they get. The entry into the game back in like 96 when the lights shut out and you're just like, uh-oh, here comes.
It just occurred to me that, and I thought this before when Diaz did the trumpet thing.
Yeah.
Like you get to a point where like, all right, this is a little much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you're an opposing player, are you not like, I'm going to kick this guy's ass? So it just occurred to me. Maybe that's motivating guys.
For the first time tonight.
I mean, can you imagine if you're in the playoffs and you come out and he does that and you're like, I can't wait to shut up every person in this stadium that's celebrating this spider graphic.
If you come out there and blow a save with that like that, it's a bad look. Like me personally, I'd be like, all right, we got to knock this shit off because it's making me look bad.
And to be honest, although he looked unhittable at first, people have been putting the bat on the ball a little bit with him. So, but like I said to somebody the other night, can you imagine if we didn't have him and we were like, okay, here comes Kerkering to try to finish it off? It would be torture.
Right.
So
I wish like Brad Lidge could work with Duran and develop a slider because then he'd be unhittable.
Look, between Duran, Bader, and Robertson even, who I expected to be just awful, you got to give Dombrowski and the crew, Mattingly, who else, a lot of credit, I think, don't you?
I'm not saying a lot of credit. They haven't done it yet. I mean, they still got a ways to
go.
They're better.
The players have to do it, but they made the team better, no question.
And we'll see. Walker Bueller's another one who could, really help them out. Looking good.
Something critical that's happened since the last podcast, and sometimes, when there's a week in between, a lot can happen. But this is something I really wanted your take on. The Philly Karen. Now, I just, I'm torn on this because part of me loves the internet and part of me loves pop culture and the fact that we create these monikers for people. Part of me feels bad that we ruin people's lives, but I guess they deserve it when they act like jerks. And I got to go to you on this, Meech.
Yeah, do you want my?
I mean, I do. You defended the, who was it?
The cunt guy.
Yeah. That's the. And they're like, what the hell is this bullshit? Yeah. That's my favorite part.
Listen, I can't. First of all, fuck her. I hate people like this.
Let's get that right out of the way.
Who try and put themselves
in
next every situation. Like, once you see the kid, you're like, all right, never mind. I'm going to leave this alone. But she doesn't deserve to have her identity. Like, she doesn't to get doxxed and lose her job.
Yeah, that's
like,
this
is an incident.
Although that
happened at a baseball game that was weird. Okay. It was weird. The dad was fucking weird too. From that little thing that he did to, he didn't even think twice about taking it out of his kid's glove and giving it back to her. If I would have done anything, I would have taken it out of my kid's glove and be like, you see this bitch, and threw it back onto the field and be like, now no one gets it. You happy now? You stupid bitch. Now nobody gets it.
Easy. All right. Now, wait. Why was
that's if that was me in that situation?
Then she had it.
If I was the dad in that situation, I would probably get doxxed and lose my job too, because I would have flipped the fuck out.
Listen.
I just think it's a weird situation, and fuck everybody involved. They're all fucking weirdos. It's a baseball from Harrison Bader. Who gives a shit?
The master Bader. Listen, here's my question. I ignore this stuff. I ignore it. I see it. And I'm like, I'm not.
Right. Me too. Okay. I tried to for as long as I could.
Here's my question.
But then it was on everything. I tried.
A couple questions.
I promise you.
She's pissed off because it came towards her and they didn't catch it.
She said she had her hand on the ball.
I mean, it rolled over to the guy, right?
It was in the row in front of her, and he came over and picked it up.
But then did he react very weirdly when she came over, frightened? Did. Yeah, that threw me off. I was like, something's wrong with this guy.
I think it was intentional, whoa, bitch, what the fuck are you? But I don't know.
Yeah, but didn't he go kind of put his dukes up?
I don't know.
Man, that's
the whole
funny.
thing was weird. I think running over 15 seats to grab a ball, I think that's kind of weird. I wouldn't do that. If it doesn't come to me directly, I'm not fucking chasing after
I probably
a ball.
Instinctively would have been like, a ball, and run over there. But I definitely wouldn't have gotten my feelings.
I would have let my son do it, who's standing right next to me.
I would have tried to get it from my son. You know what I mean?
Because what's the valor in it? You didn't catch the ball. You just found it on the ground. Okay. It's not.
So you said she got docked. She lost her job. Here's my question.
No, I don't know if she did, but
she did. I heard she lost her job.
I think that was a rule.
That was fake. Okay. Yeah. Did she? But she has not.
That's like some
she
shit
has
my
not made a statement,
me.
right? So there's so many levels to this that are interesting to me.
If I was her, I'd be in fucking hiding.
Right. And I think that's what she did. And interestingly, you saw in the earlier analogous situation with the Coldplay thing that the people came out and started making, and it just never seemed to go well. So part of me is like, you know what? Just crawl under a rock, dye your hair black, move on. But you can't these days. You can't. She's Philly Karen.
Here's the solution. Act normal in public. Just act like a fucking normal human. Pardon my language.
That's hard for some people.
It really is.
Think. It's hard.
Yeah, Fink got kicked out of some bit, but then he was younger. If
he's grown up,
if you're that old and you care that much about a baseball that a kid got,
get a life.
You got problems.
All right.
Bitch.
Okay. Good stuff.
On some Jesse Pinkman, you got problems, bitch.
There you go. So we're heading in tonight. I'm excited. We got Sanchez. I'm afraid I usually get the Taiwan Walker game, who, by the way, I got to give credit to. He's had a great year. I can't hate on Taiwan.
Remember, I said, nobody remembers, I'm sure, but I remember I said, he's probably not going to pitch that much. He's not that big of a liability.
Can I tell you?
He's not going to be in the playoffs. So he's the least of the problems.
I think it was before last season. I was like, the most important person for this year is Taiwan Walker. By the way, Keon Coleman the other night
had a huge game,
looking good.
25 yards receiving.
Meech is a big Keon Coleman Coleman fan. All right,
I had him in the FanDuel touchdown jackpot, where if you score the first or last touchdown, you get the
did he
the prize of $2 million. No, he fell down. He had a wide open walk to the end zone, and a DB was on his back and clipped his foot, and he fell down at the 2-yard line. I wanted to strangle him.
Well, Keon will provide. You stay
with him.
But
he did score a touchdown for me in that game, so I did win there.
Beautiful. So we got to give props to Schwarber. 50 is a big deal. I didn't realize that it was such a big deal historically.
Yeah, only 34 players.
That's crazy.
50.
That's crazy. We grew up in the era of the steroids and guys hitting 70, so I just assumed.
I remember, I think it was it might have been 91. Cecil Fielder had 49, and the Tigers batted him leadoff, and he hit 2 home runs that game. I think he finished with 51. But that was a big, a huge deal. Schmidt had 48 the 1 year. That was huge.
Look, here's the deal. Just bite the bullet. Give the guy whatever the hell he wants.
Seriously. I think it's too late. I really do.
They waited way too long. I just hope nobody comes in and makes him some stupid offer. He wants to stay here.
And I mean this in no way dissing Schwarber. I love him, dude. I love guys who hit bombs.
Tread carefully.
But I'm glad that Ryan Howard is going to keep the single season home. Well, not going to. There's 16 games left.
What was the season? 58?
58. So he's eight away.
Dude, he had 4
in one game, but that's an anomaly. That'll never happen again. So
I'd like to see. What if he hits 60?
To do.
Imagine Imagine that. By the way, the headphones,
especially since it took them 24 games to hit number 50.
Meech, I realized why the professional shows wear the headphones, because then you don't yell.
Right.
We would be yelling.
I know. This is good.
It took us 4 years to really. I just don't like to run extra wires. There's so many damn wires. But shout out to me for making this happen down here. Didn't know if I could do it. I just wanted to challenge myself, and here we are. And you guys will probably think this is like a fake background. It's not. It's real. It's authentic.
Screen.
We're here. What time do you think we need to wrap up to make sure we get in? I mean, it's 6:45. Geez, you and Mark are you guys are not big 6:45 guys, right? You want to go back to 7? Is that right, or is that just Mark?
Oh no, I'm huge 7 guy. I
huge
don't.
7 guy.
I don't.
6, 7.
I don't even think about baseball on most weeknights until 7:05. That's like the time.
I'm torn.
And every time I get alerts on my phone, like the game's about to start, I'm like, fuck, it's 6:45. Like I'm still picking up kids from soccer. And
yeah, I'm torn because pre-pitch clock, games took too damn long. But with the combination of the pitch clock and 6:45, definitely might be a little much.
I do have to apologize to the implement of the pitch clock. I was way against it. Like I thought it.
Who called it we called it the bitch clock or something. Yeah,
I thought it was going to hurt the sanctity of the game.
They'll never adjust. Now,
no one cares. I miss pitchers batting more than I miss the not having the pitch clock.
Yeah, and by the way, like with the robotic ump and strike zone, that would be the same thing.
I bet you next year they're going to do the 2 taps on the helmet to challenge a pitch.
And think about it.
It's so smart.
All those things in football, the challenges, we used to think, oh, this is stupid. Throw a red flag. This is never going to work. Now they finally figured out, just have freaking New York look at it. Like, and the games are better for it. So you get a better product. I'm all for the pitch clock. No 3-hour anything. I'm out on that. All right. So we're going in tonight. Super excited about that. Hoping for a deep run. Everything's setting up nicely for that. Hopefully Trey is fine. Doesn't seem like that's a bad situation. With Bohm, I don't know what that guy's deal is. I don't even know. Like if he's healthy, is that going to be a good situation? But it seems like Topper's moving things around, pressing the right buttons for now. My biggest concern is going to be middle relief. Watching Kirkring, Strom come in. Lazar's been good. Robertson, I just don't know. High leverage situation scares me. So I'm going to be trembling 7th and 8th inning.
I'm not a baseball analyst, but I'm pretty sure you are. I'm pretty sure every team has those same issues. So it's going to be across the board.
You're right. You don't think about the other team.
Here's going to be what the Phillies need to do. Get hits with Harper and Schwarber, because the past couple of years they've been trying to pitch around them, and it's not looking good for the Phillies. The rest of the guys weren't picking them up. So if they're not going to hit, the rest of the guys have to do it. And when the rest of the guys do it, it forces them to pitch to Harper and Schwarber. Yeah. So there's going to be the key. I don't give a fuck about pitching in the grand scheme of things.
It's kind of important, but that's fine.
Yeah, but everybody's in trouble pitching wise. We're just as good as any, even without Wheeler.
You know what? I think we should have a Phillies playoff tailgate. We haven't done a Phillies tailgate since we did Trey Day 2 years ago.
I agree, but they're harder to plan because the schedule's not released.
That's true, but it's like, honestly, I got to tell you folks, and I know a lot of people are coming down here, but like we came down here for the Eagles tailgate the other day. It's ridiculous. We were down here at 11 in the morning. That was not even early enough by a stretch. Ended up with the freaking delay. I was here 13 hours or whatever. With the Phillies, it's like a lot more doable, So we're going to set up the Phillies playoff tailgate. I'm going to make it happen. It's going to be great.
Let's do it.
You're going to love it.
Let's do it.
Hopefully the other guys will be into it. See if they're available.
We'll clear their schedules.
Yeah.
Listen, shout out my wife because she helps huge, but I got 5 kids and like 4 jobs.
You're a monster.
I'm always the one that's available.
Yeah, but I also feel like you hold yourself to a very high standard in terms of your credibility as just a general enthusiast about life and your commitments to others.
You'd be wrong. I don't.
No, but Meech, when we first started the podcast, you were like, what do you want to do, man? And the next thing I know, you're here every week in, week out, if you're not working to support your 5 kids. And that says a lot about you, man. I really have respect for you. Thank you for doing this.
Loyal fella.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to shift the topic, even though we're here for the Phillies game and we got a CBP in the background. We got to get into the Birds a little bit because we haven't had a pod.
In honor of Fink not being here.
E-A-G-L-E-S Eagles! Wawa! No, I'm just kidding. We love you, Fink.
Fuck, no Wawa.
Fink's Hoagies, baby. Got to get some.
You know what? I forgot again today. I was like, I'm going to try and stop at Fink's on the way down and get the chicken cheesesteak, which they have every Wednesday, and it looks fucking delicious.
Just Wednesday?
Just Wednesday.
That's amazing.
And Sundays they got the wings now. They got the nice jumbo wings, and they're cheap as shit compared to everybody else.
Everything they have
delicious.
is cheap.
No, it's reasonably priced. Everyone else is trying to friggin' gouge it.
Yeah, they really are.
Shout out Fink's Food. But next Wednesday before the pod, I'm stopping there and getting a chicken cheesesteak.
I want to quick shout out Fink. You know I'm busting your balls. Love you guys. I wasn't expecting him to come. He came down, said what's up, hung out for a while. He's the man. Fink's always supporting. Shout out to everybody that supported the tailgate. Blue Monkey Catering. If you got like an office party or a party of your own, Blue Monkey Catering is off the hook. They'll set you up.
I missed it.
Then freaking Kenwood, you know what I mean? They just keep coming down, man. And it was a crazy day. People were like, it was hard to get anywhere. It's just a wild day. And so everybody that supported Millstone Property Management came through clutch for us. Betty coming down, taking the truck out, everybody that supports. And on that note, I want to say one thing real quick. If you have not, if you're looking for a place to watch the game on Sunday, and any one of the like 4 or 5 big games, we got this game against the Chiefs, then we have the Thursday night game against the Giants, we have the Monday night game against the Packers, the Monday night game against the Chargers. These are all like away games. We will be having parties at the Coop, our home base, 1025 Hamilton Street, right next to the wonderful brewery Love City. Love City will be doing all the beer, all the food. It's $60 and you can drink as much beer as you want, eat as much food as you want for 4 hours, including obviously the game. So it's going to be the place to be. And unfortunately, I can't be there this weekend. Meech, I was hoping you might make it. We'll talk about that separately. But, this is going to be a great place to watch football moving forward. And make sure you check out our social media handles on Instagram. You can check out Love City.
It's a really great place. And Next in Line Comedy, which is also there not every, but most Fridays and Saturdays. They just won Best of Philly, I believe, right?
They did. And in fact, I was in
Best
the
comedy club
earlier. They have a nice plaque now. I think it's new. Did you see it?
I did.
By the door?
I have the same plaque from 2009.
Best blogger.
Best sports blog.
Best loser in his basement is what they called it back then. I'm just kidding. You did a great job. You're tremendous. I'm sorry.
I didn't mean that.
That was awful. I shouldn't have done that. All right. So it's going to be great. Sunday, big game. A lot going on with the Birds. I got to say this real quick. Here's what I learned by watching the NFL the first week. And, we had conversations leading up to that game about some of the assumptions we were making, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And I said, listen, guys, is it possible we're taking it for granted that Nolan Smith is going to be able to get pressure, that Jalix Hunt is going to be a great player? Now, you did see without Jalen Carter, a lot of those other guys aren't freed up to do the things they would normally do when he's getting double teamed. So that's a little bit of an X factor. But defense.
Yeah, does that show you how, they didn't have a sack, right?
Right.
So does that show you how valuable that was almost a showcase for Jalen Carter that game for a huge contract, even though he spit on Dak Prescott, embarrassed himself, and got kicked out of the game. You know what I mean? It's almost showing them you want to do this shit without me next year? You're going to have to.
It's actually an interesting point. I didn't think about it like that. I did think about how ineffective everyone else was. And it occurred to me, without Jalen Carter in there, you can't really judge them because he creates so many problems. But it did reinforce my thought of maybe we're just assuming that we fixed all these holes and Vic Fangio is the greatest ever. There are some real problems there. There's no doubt about it. So
wait until they have 7 sacks this week, and you're like, oh goddamn.
Well, maybe you're right. Here's what I know. I watched the Ravens and Bills, and after that, it just made me think to myself, the reason that we won last year was because our defense was able to stop teams.
Yeah.
You watch us go play the Ravens. We turned in a defensive game. You do not want to get into a track meet with those teams. And you saw a couple years ago when we played Kansas City, we got into a track meet with them. We made one more mistake than them. And it's funny. You look at the Super Bowl we won against the Patriots. When you get into that track meet, it's just who makes a mistake.
That was one mistake, Brandon Graham.
You don't control the game. Yeah. Now, last year, we controlled the game because of the defense we played. And so I'm convinced this team is going to need to figure itself out defensively, because you're not, I just don't think, and we have great players on offense. I don't know if you're going to hang with, the Bills and the Ravens in terms of what they can do. Now, devil's advocate, what you can do is run the ball. And the combination of running the ball and playing good defense really slows down other teams. So you do have that going for you. But as I thought about it, I was like, listen, defense has to be better. We cannot get into a score off with these teams. It's not going to work. That was my thought.
Goddard looks like he might be missing this week's game.
Guy's hurt a lot.
Yeah, that's going to hurt a lot. You just need him healthy at the end of the year.
That's why they're trying to get rid of him.
Landon Dickerson, why don't you sit him?
I agree.
Don't rush it. They're trying to get him in so quick. Like, we need him at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I like what they did with Saquon, but they only ran him like, I think 15 or 15 times maybe in the first game. They're obviously trying to limit him, and this includes the trade for Tank Bigsby, which he can also do kick. But I think Shipley had pretty much the same duties, and he broke his rib. Is that?
Yeah, I guess that's it. I don't really know. What I do know is that one of our hosts is acting like he's submitting questions. Finkatron 3000 says, "Do you guys think the Eagles fans who still want to see Jalen suspended or have him sit out a half are the biggest dopes in the world?"
They're fucking idiots. I mean, it's such a stupid concept for our fans to want that. It's one thing if they do it themselves internally, but for us to want that is a stupid.
When I was close to it, like when it first happened, I was like, they gotta do something. And now I'm like, all right, he missed a game. By the way, last year they sat him out a series or something, right? Yeah. But he didn't sit out a game before that. He already sat out a game. Listen, man, this is the NFL. We got to go. Someone just needs to check that dude. And by the way, the funny thing is like, oh, what are we going to do about it? Who's going to talk to him? You can't change a guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, they can talk to him.
Maybe something
just don't talk.
Stupid like this early is a good thing, to where they can have this learning conversation with them. Yeah. To where if it happened in, say, the first week of the playoffs and someone taunted him, now maybe when somebody spits on the ground, he's just going. First, I don't even know why he was in their huddle. Like, he was in the middle of their huddle before all that. It was just a weird thing going on. But maybe he learns. I mean, not maybe, he's gone.
Honestly, that was like,
the guy's got so much money to make.
We didn't talk about it.
Lose it all because he spits on people.
You know what's the only thing worse than the banner celebration that we had the first time when it got interrupted by lightning? The second banner celebration. I mean, let's just look. We are championship fans now, so we've been through 2 banner ceremonies, and here's what I know: it's not cool. It's not cool. I mean, it was what, Jeffrey and BG, right? Yeah. And they like tried to do so. You couldn't even hear them. It's all about like the show for TV. They don't have time. They don't have time to do it. You know what they should do?
It on a different day.
I was just going to say, have a totally different event.
Invite families down there.
Make it free. Make it free.
Who don't go to games.
Do something cool. Right. It is so underwhelming.
Because the football gods obviously don't like it being held during a game.
Oh, seriously, the frickin' lightning. But by the way, when the thing came off of it, it's like they weren't ready.
Yeah.
No one was like, it was just like, it like half came off. I mean, it was awful. So that happens. I'm like, that sucked. Then Jalen Carter gets kicked out. I'm like, this is the worst start ever. And, luckily it was okay. But then
the Cowboys scored. Like,
true. But the delay was morose. You know what I mean? It was awful. I was like, oh, you're going to resume at 11:30. That's great. You know what I mean? Kill some time. And then it was so weird that the teams coming back onto the field started warming up like it was a new game.
Well, they give them 15 or 20.
But it's so stupid.
Like, they attach that on because they were explaining that on the TV.
But like asking guys who are going like full tilt to like rev it back up after an hour, it's just the whole thing sucks. Lightning delays suck. I get it. There's nothing you can do, but it sucks. So, all right. The other thing I want to say about the Birds, because I've heard, and I'm just going to be honest about it. I was listening to Spike the other day, and they're talking about Josh Allen being better than Jalen Hurts, and that's okay. It's just why do we keep talking about how good Jalen Hurts is or isn't? And here's why I don't understand. Before somebody wins a Super Bowl, you debate where they are in the landscape and how good they are. And why do you do that? Because you want to determine, are they good enough to win a Super Bowl, right? Like, oh, is he an elite quarterback? Because does it matter if you're an elite quarterback and you don't win the Super Bowl? What's that get you? It gets you nothing, right?
Well, here's the thing with that game in particular.
Just stop.
Like, does that discredit Lamar Jackson, who had the lead and Derrick Henry fumbled it away?
Rich.
So Derrick Henry was not the reason they lost the game, because he had a huge part in them getting it. But when it comes down to it, it's not like Lamar Jackson fucked it up and Josh Allen did some heroic thing. It just happened to go that way. Here's the thing that matters. Jalen Hurts in the last 15 games that he has started and finished is 15-0. So who gives a shit about anything else? Honest to God. There's nothing else I'm concerned
That's my
about.
point. And like, what does it take to be a top 5 quarterback, elite quarterback? I got to be like impressed with how you throw and run and all this.
Yeah.
Or you win games, make good decisions, are an absolute beast of a dude, and win Super Bowls and play. By the way, and this is the thing he has going for him, he plays his best in the big games.
Right.
They don't seem to do that. I just don't understand, why are we debating who's better? What does it matter? Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts played extremely well in the Super Bowl that he lost. We don't need to talk about how good of a quarterback he is. And by the way, guys, like, you know, I guess, and see, this is where I'm getting a little hypocritical, because if Jalen Hurts looks like he can't throw the ball and the Eagles have a shitty season, then I guess it opens that conversation up. But he still won the Super Bowl.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I just understand why we're having this conversation over and over, and people get so pissed off about it. It's like, I just don't want to hear it anymore. You know what I mean?
They have a counter argument to everything. It's that he has too many weapons, or it doesn't matter what you do when you win that many games. You can't argue against it. I'm sick of it.
What is he saying? He says Eagles are Satan's team. We win and celebrate in the darkness. 666. Is that a reference to something that we already said?
Is this Fink?
This is Fink. Is he all right? Is he at the bar? Where is he? Fink, are you okay, buddy? Do you need our help? Just let us know. Now, we appreciate that you're watching. I mean, it would be better if you were here, although I feel like we're doing a great job without you, but it's fine either way. All right, so big game coming up against the Chiefs. The Chiefs looked pretty old and beat down. I expect them, though.
This game's going to be fixed. That's my prediction.
Here we go.
I
love it
because it's a game in Arrowhead, and they already lost.
Yeah.
They haven't started 0-2 in little Patty Mahomes' career.
Patty.
So they're going to fix this game so the Chiefs win, and I'm pretty confident in that. So I'm expecting a loss. If they win and they whoop their ass, I'm going to be so goddamn happy. But what I'm going into this game is expecting the refs and whoever else
That's
to
funny.
do
I didn't even think
everything possible to give the Kansas City Chiefs
interesting thought. I obviously didn't think about the fixing of the game, and that's quite possible. I'm looking at this as an early indicator of at least where we are now. Here's what I mean by that. The team that I saw play the game this week that didn't look totally all, disciplined and like it had a good collective approach, but still gutted it out. That's great. That quality of play is, I don't think, enough to go to Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs. Although the Chiefs look shitty. I expect the Chiefs to, given that it's the Eagles, given that they're home, I expect to get them, they're going to give us give everything they got. I don't know what they have.
Yeah.
But what I'm interested to see is, do we go out there and stumble a little bit and a lot of the issues we saw in the first game, reoccur? Or do we go out there and play a great game and beat them and demonstrate that we're just a way better team still, and that the veterans on our team and the good players on our team still have this under control? The coordinators still have this under control. If we go out there and beat their ass, I'm going to feel really good.
Yeah, me too.
And here's the thing. You got them. You got the Rams, right? Who's after the Rams? Is it the Broncos? No, I forget. But either way, it's tough, a little stretch. And if the Eagles can go through this and be successful, then there's just no stopping them, I feel like, in terms of where they are in the landscape of the NFL. I'm here for that. Hopefully that's the case.
I'm ready for it.
All right.
Listen, if they whoop their ass, I'm going to be the happy.
Did you need another Kenwood? Because I saw you. I saw you run out, and you were
Kenwood?
looking. See, this is the kind of guy that Meech is, folks. And this is why you want him to be your foxhole guy, because there were 2 Kenwoods on here, and he knows I got the Kenwood as a backup to my Mick Ultra, right, which didn't really register for me. And he finished his, and he looked at the Kenwood, and instead of just grabbing it and opening it, I know he knew that it was one of my backup beers, and he didn't take it. And he looked a little confused. And so
I wasn't confused. It was your beer.
I know, but you
got more.
Other guys would have taken it.
A lesser man.
And a lesser man would have been like, Jess is like tied up. If I just grab this, I'll be fine. You didn't. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Go Birds, go Phils.
Go Birds,
okay.
go Phils.
So now we got to get into something that's a little close to home. Now, most people say, and I agree, like, no one cares about your fantasy league and no one wants to hear how you did. And that's factual. But we have our own fantasy league here for the City Pigeons for the first time. And what I did a little exercise. I went through the scoreboard and I looked for the little nuggets for reasons that games turned out the way they did, and I found some good stuff. And I'm going to keep doing this every week. I'm going to give a fantasy update, and I'm going to dig into the details, okay? So
fucking Goodhart got me by Lamar Jackson.
Let's start with my game.
Bastard.
Now, I want to point out that I was a little worried about my ability to host a podcast and do a fantasy draft. Lo and behold, I had the highest ranked team. My team's badass. I love my team. All these other guys suck. I did the podcast production, and kudos to me. So I played Rock to start out with, okay?
You also got the first pick. So
yeah, well, that wasn't my fault. That was Rock being a dumbass.
I know, but that always helps having the I mean, you automatically have the best player.
Okay.
Who didn't do
by
well
the way,
Jamar
Chase did nothing. All right. So I played Rocky, and here's the best part. He loses to me, unsurprisingly. But I looked at his scoring, and he got a -7 from the Ravens defense. Now, let me tell you, Rocky.
That's why I hate defense.
Okay, but Rocky is a fantasy expert. He's been in leagues forever. He's actually quite good. He does well in all our other leagues. I'm guessing this is only because he's not taking this league as seriously. Because, like, for example, I had the Ravens in another league, and I said, well, you know what? I'm going to drop one of my shitty players. I'm going to go pick up Cincinnati versus Cleveland.
Right.
That was the difference between winning the game.
Maybe he thought it was the Ravens of 2000.
Well, I mean, look, if you're going up against Buffalo, you got to know. You got to play matchups on defense, right? And I'll keep a good defense, but I'll play matchups. Rocky fails to do that, takes the L. All right, Mark beats Meech by 2 points, okay? Now, this is interesting to me. Mark beats Meech by 2 points, which I know Meech isn't so happy about. He did this despite the fact that the Chargers defense only gave him 2 points. Now, you know why he has the Chargers defense, right?
Because of Tyre Tate.
That's exactly right. So Mark is
who had a great
I know. I'm trying to get it here.
It was fucking awesome, man.
All right. So
I told him to make T-shirts, and I would wear it tonight.
So we know that Mark picked the Chargers defense on his team because he represents Tierre Tart. He's one of the managers. I assume that's legal.
I call him Tierre Tate.
Tierre Tate. Tart. And so we start getting these text messages. I'm like, what is going on? Turns out that during the game, Mark's client slapped Travis Kelce clear across the face. And if you're watching on video,
bitch smack,
you can see this. This is just amazing stuff. And there might be some shirts after this that you can get, but he just said enough is enough, dude. And it did start with Travis kind of pushing him, but he said, no, I'm not having that. You know what I mean? So anyway, Mark rides the Chargers defense to the 2 points and narrowly beats Meech. Very exciting stuff. All right. On the Squirrel game, there's not much to talk about. Squirrel just dominated Keith. No subtext there.
I think it's good because Keith drafted in the Blair Witch Project.
Shout out to Keith.
He had that single footage, that single camera footage of him in a dark room drafting.
We saw Keith at the tailgate. He's a ride or die. We love him.
Keith's the man.
Better luck next week, Keith. All right. This was an interesting one. Tom versus Blake. Oh, Keith is here. Yeah, Keith. Yo, dude, I love you, man.
Good dude.
You're the best. Thank you. All right, this is a good one. And by the way, if you're going to follow, like Keith's going to care about, I'm going to build these plot lines as we go. Here's a good one. Everybody knows Blake was picking all the NFC East rivals and doing whatever it takes to win. This is just, you can't make this shit up. I hope Blake is watching right now. Blake loses to Tom, okay, by less than 1 point, despite the fact that Tom has Tyler Bass as his kicker. Now, there's only one problem with having Tyler Bass as your kicker. Tyler Bass is on the IR, and Tyler Bass did not participate in the game on Sunday night. And despite the fact that Tom started a kicker on his IR, which in some leagues could get you in trouble, I'm not going to give Tom shit for this. He won the game. But Blake, tough L, man. Maybe it was bad juju.
If that shit happens in like week 12 when you're 3 and 11, 3 and 9, that's one thing. But
week one,
not have your starting kicker available. Tom, come on,
not
man.
A good look, buddy. All right, now in the Danielle Goodhart watch, right, and we're just solely watching to see if Danielle Goodhart is better than Market Fantasy, which she probably is. Fink narrowly edges out Danielle, despite a pitiful performance by Bo Nix. And it's something to say that your starting quarterback is Bo Nix. That doesn't seem like you drafted well to me. He didn't he take like 3 running backs? I think he went hero running back, whatever they call it. Yeah. So he lost to Danielle.
I don't know, he won. Bo Nix was one of those sleeper guys. You could really,
Best part is Danielle only gets 1 point from the Steelers defense. That was the game that shocked me. I would have bet on the under in that game in the second. And the Steelers-Jets was like some sort of throwback shootout. It was a great game.
Yeah.
Shout out to Aaron Rodgers, even though he looks like a complete, like he just walked out of the elderly home in terms of how he moves around. He got it done, man. Give the guy credit.
No, I'm not giving him
You're not giving any credit. People just do not love Aaron Rodgers, and I get it. All right. Well, that's your fantasy wrap-up. Obviously, it's just 1 week. It's nothing to get too excited about. I'll give you my own fantasy wrap-up. I have 4 teams, which is entirely too many. But we went 3-1 this week, and that feels good.
Yeah.
You know what feels terrible? When you go 0-4. And it happens. It will happen. And, of course, if Hawkinson does great, I'm going to win this game, but I will lose this game. Standard. That's on me. That's on me. But you know what? I'm going to try to make some money, baby. I'm going to chase it. And hopefully not like last year where I lose a lot more than I'm willing to admit. That's what we're going to hope that happens this year. All right.
I survived in my guillotine league.
Oh, shit.
On the week 2.
Can you
17
run back
left.
the guillotine league for people? Because I think more people need to know about this.
18 teams start, right? So you got a draft 1 through 18. Every week, you don't play an opponent. You play everybody. The lowest team score gets kicked out of the league. All their players on their roster go on the free agent list, and you have 1,000 metaphorical dollars to spend on free agents, and
it's great
to acquire. Like this week, I added Justin Herbert for $74.
Nailed it
over Drake May to
So wait, and you can pick any players next week, or do you keep the same guys? Oh, you can pick up whoever lost, right?
Whoever lost,
their
teams. That entire roster goes into the free agent.
The
pool.
bidding just
and then the bidding
makes me
starts.
anxious.
Like I bid.
Look at Fink. He says went 5-0 across my leagues this year. Sucker. Is that week 1? I assume he means.
I guess.
Fink,
so.
clarify,
man.
Clarify. Oh, he says forgot to bid this week. SMH it myself. He's really active in the chat. You got to give it to him.
Good job.
He's got
Fink.
FOMO.
You call in, man. We're here.
Fink, do you know how good these tickets are, man? 12th row. Now the problem is we're going to be in the Mets section, but they're downtrodden right now. So. But he's missing that, and the ticket was part of the offer. He just really blew that.
When I was younger, my dad was friends with Pat Corrales, who was the pitching coach for the Braves. So he used to get me tickets every time the Braves came in, but I would be in the Braves family and friends section, and I was a little arrogant asshole.
Yeah, I bet you were
wasn't
nice.
Very nice.
Not great.
That was fun. Shout out Dad. Shout out Pat Corrales.
All right. Well, look. I feel like we accomplished our goal.
Yeah.
This worked.
Dude,
this worked.
Good stuff.
How about it? Looks good.
We don't need anybody else.
Good, I think.
Yeah. I don't care if no one.
Where do we go from here?
Watch?
Big game Sunday. Again, come down to the coop.
Fucking backdrop, man.
That's beautiful. Hey, come down to the coop. $60. As much beer as you can drink from Love City.
And food.
It's good. I think it's going to be the pizza.
If you're one of those competitive eaters, that could be like a walk in the park for you, man.
I think it's the Viva Pizza, which is amazing. The hot honey. That's really good. It's not a bad deal. And the space is awesome. And hopefully a couple guys from the Pigeons will be down there. And we're going to try to do that thing. So come out. Big game for the Birds. Excited for that and to talk about that next week and keep gearing up for the Phillies and figure out if I'm going to get any tickets to Sixers because the sales lady is totally up my ass and I don't know what to do.
Yeah, if you got a couple dollars in FanDuel, tell my little parlay. It's going to win.
Tail the parlay, baby.
Trying to make you some spending cash for the weekend.
With the profit boost, Yeah. I put $25 on it to win
Perfect.
400 or something.
Yeah, let's do it.
I got to tell you, I am on a historic bad run on FanDuel. And I used to win a little bit. I haven't won anything.
Sunday, I lost like 7 parlays, but I won one that paid for all of them plus. It was great. And I did like all my parlays were player parlays. Mm-hmm. And then I had money in Bet365. So I did a parlay. I took the under in 3 games and the Rams, and that hit. So there was all my
Yeah, I mean, you sent out your 4:00 thing at like 3:59.
I'm not good at that.
I think you need to operate a service and people ride with you and they die with you. And that's how it goes.
See, I don't want to.
I know you don't be responsible. You're a man of honor. We know that. Any closing comments from Fink in the chat? Don't see it. All right. So what did I decided we are going to do a Phillies playoff tailgate as well. Yep. So we're going to rock and roll with that.
Let's do it.
And by the way, Scott from Blue Monkey said he's going to come in for one of our episodes and test out some like new dishes. And we're going to have some fun with that too.
Hell yeah.
It's exciting, right?
I mean, I'm not going to turn that down.
And by the way, side note, we talked about a little next in line comedy at the Coop. Best of Philly comedy shows every weekend. Got some great stuff.
Todd Glass is coming up. He's a
which
fucking
is a big
legend.
deal. I'm not like this well versed in comedy as everybody, but they're advertising it, and he looks very
By
impressive.
the way, on the Norm Macdonald show that was on the internet, you can find it if you Google it. Todd Glass did a 2-part episode on that one, and it was both parts were so goddamn funny. Norm Macdonald, comedy legend.
Love it. All right. On that note, we're gonna go get ready, pack this shit up, and go watch.
No, we're just gonna leave
baseball.
all this stuff here.
Anybody wants some camera equipment?
Yeah.
Come on over. If you could rob us, that would be easy too.
We're just gonna hope honor system. We're just gonna hope it's here at the end of the game. When we
Episode 130 out. Go Phils, go Birds. Everybody have a great night. See you next week.
See you next week, fellas.